After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 506. Today is Monday, May 23rd, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad you found us, and we hope you find something you enjoy so that you'll stay with us. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning, please feel free to subscribe. There's a little red button on your right, and there's a little bell that you can just tap gently, and you will get notifications when the podcast is up. New podcast episodes are up.
And we have a few old episodes to fill out the rest of the collection. That when I am able to get around to it, those will be going up too. So that's like episode 2, episode 3, the episode where we change our name, right. Mom's first episode.
That's episode 7.
Yeah, so those will be eventually making their way into the collection on YouTube.
Right. I think we'll be just missing one, right, after that? Or
No, we have quite a few we are missing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a majority is already on YouTube.
Right.
But we do have it was when Blip wasn't being cooperative.
Right, I remember that.
So.
Okay, so, yeah, we're glad to have you with us. I guess we need to know who has more projects, and
I have 5.
I think I have 6.
Okay.
So in my crocheting owl mug that was given to me by Chronically Crochet, thank you, Crystal. She has a great podcast if you want to watch that. She's really sweet. I have Thief, which is one of Talia's blends. It's an Adagio blend. And I can't read this. It's got cinnamon and some other things. It's hard to read because that was the first label I tried to.
Chocolate, hazelnut, fiery cinnamon spice, sprinkles, and cocoa nibs.
Cocoa nibs.
I'm pretty sure that's what this says.
So yeah, this is one of the ones based on one of our story characters, and it definitely fits that particular person.
Do you still have your bite?
Do I still have my what?
The bite.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because what happened was we very intelligently made our tea before I was done setting up. Mm-hmm. I guess we both forgot that I hadn't set up yet.
Well, there was enough stuff out here that looked like we were set up and we didn't register.
Yeah, and also I got a call from a doctor's office to set up an appointment that I've been waiting for this call, so we kind of got thrown off at right about the period where we were planning to get things taken care of.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's why we're behind. But I didn't even bother to change my mug from the other day. I just went with this one again because this had my tea from earliest morning.
I can smell that all the way here. It's smoky.
This is my Memento Mori mug. It is one of my favorite teas.
Russian Caravan?
It's from the Tea Spot. Yep, Russian Caravan.
Because I was wondering if it was last on shoe side. It smells so smoky.
And of course, Russian Caravan has to be in a red container.
As does Thief.
Yes.
Because it's all about the glitz. And look at me. You can try that too if you want to.
It's actually a little milder than I usually have it. I think I didn't put as much leaves in as usual.
Give me back my tea. Hurry up. Take some and give me back my tea. That's just icky.
There you go. Yes, that is good stuff.
It tastes like something campfire-y.
It's woody. It's wood.
It tastes like something that's been too close to the campfire for too long and it smells like that. That's how it tastes.
I love this. But I tend to like grassy, woody,
I do too.
nutty teas.
I do too, but I don't like smoky. I will, as witnessed by the fact that there are a couple of things that are grassy, woody, and stuff like that I do like. I just don't like smoky.
But I have a great tendency toward those types, where you do tend more towards you tend towards cinnamon. You tend towards spicy, to be quite honest with you.
It's kind of strange.
But you think about it, your chai, things like that. I've been surprised that I don't tend towards spicy, because I tended, before I got sick, to prefer spicy food, because that's what I could taste.
And I don't.
Yeah.
The thing is that I like the spicy and I like the sweet, and I'm finding that I like some of the herbals. I like oolong.
Did you see the herbal that Adagio has on its front page now? It's a new one. It's called it's called something about lungs or something like that. It's an herbal with, I guess, peppermint and a bunch.
Oh, cool! I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen. We did. They had the spinning wheel on this time for mystery.
Sherlock Holmes.
It was mystery or Sherlock Holmes.
It was Sherlock Holmes in particular.
Yeah, and they had a wheel, so you could spin the wheel and maybe win something. So I won study in Scarlet Tea.
As did I.
As soon as I put my order together, I can get my free tea.
I always felt like the beginning of Study in Scarlet was paced really well, and then you get toward the end and the pacing slows almost too much.
I have to read it again. I don't remember it.
Well, that's the one where you first meet Holmes and he's beating the corpse to try to see how bruises develop after death.
After death? Why would you want to see how bruises develop
because
after death?
Then it might. I think it was supposed to be how. I can't remember.
See how old the corpse was, or
see how if someone was trying to make the death look different, or I can't remember if he was trying to see how they developed after death, or just see how they developed. Period. But that's how Watson meets him. He's beating a corpse in the lab.
I had to remember that he was looking for lodgings, wasn't he still?
Yes.
Watson? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Watson and Holmes are both looking for lodgings because a friend of Watson's had heard both of them say, "Man, I wish I could find lodgings, but I can't really afford on my own." And he's like, "So funny you should say that, Watson. Someone who's crazy and beats corpses was saying just the same thing just the other day to me. He found a place. Yeah. So if you don't mind, rooming with the corpse guy."
Crazy guy he doesn't beat live people, just dead people, so you're safe.
Yes.
Anyway, from there, let's move on to our longs, because that's such a smooth segue.
I used to have a really nice copy of that. I don't know what I did. I probably ended up giving it away. It was like, it looked kind of antique-ish. It was really a pretty copy. It was huge.
I love old books, and I love old-looking books, but if we start talking about books, this podcast will either be 5,000 hours long, or it will never get into knitting. So
true. And I have a booktube for that.
Yeah, I don't, but I might. I now have a microphone for my own new computer, which we'll talk about later. But
I think you would like Too Fond of Books.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about doing some of my own stuff now.
Well, what I'm saying is, her name is Too Fond of Books. If you wanted to watch something kind of involved with the community, there's Too Fond of Books, and then there's a lady from Georgia that I really like.
The accent alone.
She has such a gentle
accent alone.
Oh.
All right, anyway, moving on. The Autism Awareness Lao 2022 only runs 3 months, not a whole year. Okay, I remember the snafu from last time around. This runs from April through June, so the end of June. June 30th is the last day. If you get into July 1st, it's finished, okay? Now,
Stephanie,
we're knitting with all the bright colors for this. Bright colors and blue, okay? Blues are also an autism color.
I wonder why they chose blue.
Not really sure, but why do they choose any color, right? I mean, I'm going to go through the rules.
Excuse me.
Basically, word for word on this along, and then I'll just kind of adjust them for any other along that we do, which happens to be just one more at this point. Okay, so as I said, this runs April 1st through June 30th. As long as the thread is open, you can still post things, but don't depend on that. If you've got some really nice project that you want to make sure gets in, we want to make sure you get your prize chance. So don't chance it. Get it in by June 30th, okay? Gratis for anything else that you put in. Now, let's see here. It's been so long since I've actually been able to use this that I'm having trouble with it.
Oh, you have actual show notes up?
I have show notes, yes.
Yay.
Okay, so this is, we've mentioned that we're probably going to do mostly anecdotes or, the occasional facts type of stuff.
Because we've totally done that this year.
Yeah, we've done this so many times. We have.
Have we done this year?
Yes.
Have we really?
Yes, we have. We've done a couple of
like
anecdotes.
once?
No, we've done a couple times with Davina stuff. Because we've been doing this along for so long, and we just don't want to be a dead horse. If we find something new or something like that, then we will, say something. Or if Davina happens to do something that we think is worth mentioning, we'll do that. To reiterate about Pat, who is Looney Hiker, she posted some links. I don't know if it's a video or what she posted the link to.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it.
From the conferences. I don't know if it's her impressions on the conferences or what they are, but
I thought it was like some PowerPoints or something. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
I haven't had a chance to look at it, but there's like 3 or 4 links, maybe 5 links in that thread. So that's something you might want to take a look at too. So for the autism awareness.
Yeah, because it sounds like it might have been. It was a lot of fun.
We're very appreciative of her for posting that. Okay, now this is 1 whip per project per week, as always, and the finished object whenever it's finished. Even if you did the whip of that object on a Monday or Tuesday and you finished it on a Thursday or a Friday or something.
Heck, if you did the whip on Wednesday, you finished it on Thursday.
If you did it one day, there are projects.
Exactly.
That's fine. Although most people won't take time to do a whip picture if they're going to finish it the same day.
True. But if you're one of those people.
Yep. If you're one of those people, we're not judging. No judging. No judgment here.
Of course, if you have to say no judgment,
no
probably
judgment.
some judgment.
No judgment. I don't judge anybody. Not much. Okay. I am a little punchy for some reason. I got a lot of sleep. Sorry, that's a reference that you're never going to get.
No, inside joke. And we can't really go into.
No, we can't. But we actually switched.
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm. Yes, we did. But I knew if I did that, you would do what your response would be.
Yep. That's really, yes. Anyway, moving along. Hashtag PHNAA2022 on Instagram. Laura Concert is our wonderful co-host, as she always is for this along. It would be strange not to have her with us.
Indeed.
And we are glad that she is with us. She's crocheting Hoovian. And, her rules might be slightly different than ours. If anything, they might be more strict color-wise because she really loves the bright colors.
She really does.
But we have also upped our colors, so we might be more neck and neck now. We like majority. We want it to be the majority of bright colors.
I think we've always said a majority. It's just that we will flip-flop about what the percentage is. Because honestly, how can you judge percentage?
I think one year Laura said something like 95%. Like Laura, Laura, I may misremember. I freely admit that.
I do feel like I remember that though.
Yeah. Laura gets a lot of teasing because she's Laura.
But she will probably remember a lot better than we do because she remembers everything about she could tell us what we said like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm.
So she's amazing, and we give her a lot of grief because we can and we love her. So she can take the hit. So she's our co-host, and we're very happy to have her with us. You have to be a member to to the groups to which you are posting, okay? Since it's our long, you need to be a member of our group if you want to be there.
There's no prizes if you don't put pictures in the group, and you can't put pictures in the group unless you belong to the group.
But I'm also saying they can't just do it for Laura's because it's our long. They can be both groups, be members of both groups, but they can't just do Laura's because it's our long. Although if she wants to do it,
if
she wants to do it. So maybe not. Maybe if she just wants to do it, then I have no problem with her piggybacking on us, so that's no problem. So
it's still autism awareness.
Yeah. So just strike that. Put the
put the name down. Put a line through it.
Reference. Yeah. Wow. We're a little manic today.
Don't worry. That means I'll crash by the end. So that will be taken care of.
I'm just happy that we're not incoherent. Okay.
We'll get there.
Because last week was truly awful.
Last week I was working on a migraine and I got one right after the podcast.
And last week I was so tired. Mm-hmm. I think I'm running on I have energy because Daddy said even with my hour nap, I slept without moving last night.
Well, maybe the mouth guard is helping a little bit.
Maybe. Anyway, moving on. Okay, projects, as I said, must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted, and bright colored, the majority, okay? Blacks and browns and tans and whites, well, yeah, whites can be bright, but I don't consider that a color. It's just...
It's the absence of color.
It's the absence of color. So, although black is all colors, so it should be. So,
but it's not only bright color. It's not all bright colors.
yeah. Neutrals, if it's, if you have too much of a neutral or a non-bright, it will be washed somewhere else by one of the moderators or by myself or Talia if we notice it. So we won't take it off completely. We'll put it show off or something, so that people can see it.
It will be escorted out of the room.
It will be escorted because it is underage. Yes, it's not 21 or 18 or whatever it
21.
is.
21. 18's overseas.
Well, if 18-year-olds can go to war here, they should be able to go to a bar.
I can see where you're coming from, but that's the way it is.
And I think that's in some states, because when I was going
Nope, not anymore.
Oh,
not,
is it?
It's
Is it across
we've
the
had
board
this
now?
conversation before. Yeah, it's across the board.
Okay, moving on. We will not get into that.
I think that was when you were younger. The other.
Yeah, back in the dark ages. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Things have changed since then.
Change. Okay.
How did you get off screen all of a sudden?
Because I move forward.
Okay. Pretend you like me.
Why?
Because I don't want you being moved off screen every time you look at your show notes.
My water fell.
That water is always falling.
There. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Did that. That is done. Did that. We do have prizes. In fact, I showed last week that we got 2 more prizes. Which along that's going to, I'm not quite sure yet, but we have them. They are awesome, and we are very grateful to
Yes.
for
I
Christina.
owe a thank you note, and I haven't done it because I was out all last
I
week.
have to write a thank you note as well. She is very special, very generous, and we love her dearly.
Yes.
Let's see here. Okay, featured autism-specific patterns and yarns. Those of you who've been with us for a while know this already. Anything, basically for all the alongs, unless otherwise stated, anything that I do in terms of yarn or pattern, I only have one pattern right now, but yarns are patterns. Anything that Talia does in her patterns, and anything that Laura does, yarns or patterns, excuse my phone, anything of those things that we do is eligible for 2 chances at a prize for a finished object only, and 3 chances for a finished object if you use a featured pattern and a featured yarn. Okay, you are responsible for multiple postings. For autism awareness, we've added on George's Braided Bright. He's 10 hours or less. He did that Braided Bright for us the first time we did autism awareness, and it's been consistently a featured pattern for this along. The other one is by a Modest Creation who used to be Miss World, and it's a weighted lap gan and teddy bear pattern, and that is also a featured pattern.
I think Jody made the bear.
Oh, did she? Mm-hmm. Okay. That is eligible for 2 chances at a prize, and those are separate. Even though they come together in the pattern, you don't have to make both. If you make a blanket and a bear, unless you make a little itty-bitty, less than 50-yard blanket and bear, they're separate. They're separate.
I can't imagine wanting to do that.
That would drive me insane. I think I'd poke my eye out or something.
I think your hand would seize. I mean, anyone's hand would
Yeah,
seize.
you'd have to almost use lace, like string and stuff like that. But anyway,
Well, the circumference would be so small.
those items the blanket could be 1 chance at a prize, and the bear can be another. Okay, and like I said, those are featured patterns. If you use it with a featured yarn, you get 3 chances at a prize for the finished object. If you use just the featured pattern for the finished object, it's 2 chances at a prize. So those, I believe, are the only things that we have for featured patterns and yarns for the autism awareness.
Okay.
I need some tea because apparently we're very yakky today.
Oh, wow, we haven't even done tea and tails yet.
You guys might be in for a long one. Okay. No apology. I don't want to. No? She's ignoring me. That's rude.
You do it to me all the time.
Yeah, but I'm the mom.
I don't think that changes the rules of rudeness.
It does.
I think etiquette goes across the board.
Anyway, Tea and Tails is the second along, okay? And this one is Tea and Tails Cal Cal Lao 2022. This is all year long. We started January 1st, and we are almost till June. That means we're halfway through almost. That's kind of, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you all right, Taya?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This runs January 1st through December 31st. And as we said with the other along, if you see the thread still open on January 1st, you're welcome to post something as long as it's open. But we have several moderators plus 2 administrators. So I wouldn't take a chance if you really want something in there for a chance at a prize. Get it in by December 31st Eastern Standard Time. When I say closing the threads, I do mean Eastern Standard Time as our base. It might not close at midnight Eastern Standard Time. It might be 1 o'clock in the morning the following day or 2 o'clock or something like that. But don't wait if you want to put something. We want you to have as many chances at a prize as possible, okay? If you get extra things in because you're working on other things, that's great, okay? But don't wait, all right? The projects, same things apply as for the other along, but the special things here, it has to do with tea and or tails. The project has to do with tea and or tails. It doesn't have to be brightly colored for this one, just tea and or tails. And we've mentioned that it could be graphic novels, novelizations of things that started out as movies or TV shows, as long as they're novels or graphic novels or whatever. I think we said narrative poems. We said children's books that have like chapter books, or even things like I think we mentioned Ping and Mike Mulligan and Marianne. They have to have stories,
Right.
Not necessarily something.
Well, even the Corduroy Bear has a story.
Right, but not something like I'm not sure I would want to accept something like one fish, two fish, red fish, blue
No,
fish.
the one really doesn't feel like a
It's not a story, but something like what was the one that Dad didn't care for because the father
the
was
Berenstain
stupid?
Bears?
The Bernstein Bears would count. Horton Hears a Who would count. But something like, you can't stop, you cannot hop on Pop or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's not a story. Okay, but the others are. They have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So those...
There's an actual narrative you can follow.
Right. Just let us know what the story is. And you guys have been great. I'm seeing things that I've never heard of that I need to go back and check. I should probably write them down before we, before something makes them disappear, like, whatever.
Like deleting the thread or something?
Yeah, or even I just lose it in all the posts. We have the same featured yarns and featured patterns as I mentioned, the core, my stuff, Taya's stuff, and Laura's stuff. We add to this one Joanna Johnson, who is knitted. She's really heavy on tails. Then we have Mom Cook, who is loom knit, who's very heavy on tea. I don't know if I think she has some stuff on tails as well, but she's very heavy on teas. And then KF Jones, who is Bakery Bear. She's Bryony Bear, actually. Bryony Bear on Ravelry. And she has, I think, both tea and tails.
Yeah, I think she's heavier on tails than she is on tea, but she has at least... One of hers is a mixture of... I don't think Downton Abbey... I think it's just a TV show. I don't think it's a book. But it has...
I'm not sure if it's got novelizations.
I'm not sure. It could. But the one... She has a pair of socks that's like tea at Downton Abbey or something like that. So that would be kind of a dual one if there is a Downton Abbey book out there.
Right, but you don't get dual credit for that.
No, there's no dual credit.
No.
You get to just pat yourself on the back for being,
clever.
Awesome. Yeah.
You get 2 chances for doing a finished object of that particular pattern because it is her featured pattern.
Yeah.
And if you use my yarn or Talia's yarn, my yarn or Laura's yarn, then you get triple chance.
Hey, if they use Talia's non-existent yarn, they get quadruple chance.
But they have to prove it. It has to be visible. It can't be invisible yarn. Right?
Yeah, the Emperor's new yarn.
This is good. I blame my maniac on thief. Okay. Same, whip per projects per week, FOs whenever they're finished. Yeah. PHN Tea and Tails 2022 on Instagram. Hashtag PHN Tea and Tails 2022 on Instagram. We've already pulled for the first quarter price. They went out a while ago. I think everybody's received them now. Thank you for all those people who who told me. Thank you. I appreciate that. With the mail sometimes being a spot eaters, I sometimes worry about it.
Right.
Okay. So that leads us into whips.
And you have more than I?
I do have more than you by 1. So I don't have
You
to
just
do
go
anything.
once.
Just go once. I just start.
Yeah. You, yeah.
Once 6. Okay. In my
What is your phone doing?
Let me see here, guys. I'm not sure what's going on. I might have to turn it off completely. Let's see here. Because for some reason it's making a lot of noise.
Do you have a 12 o'clock alarm for something?
No, that's not my alarm. All right, I'm going to... Oh, wait. Okay.
Is it just like a weather notification?
Okay. That was my sister-in-law is keeping me posted on my brother-in-law's potential... No, he is having surgery on Wednesday. So, those of you who pray out there, if you keep my brother-in-law in your prayers, that he has a successful surgery, that would be appreciated. Let me just turn this off so we don't keep getting...
Just remember to turn it back on when you're...
Yeah. Okay, it's not going to let me do this. I apologize, guys. Just give me a second.
Let me fix?
I can do it.
Okay.
I just need
to... Do it yourself?
Do it myself. All right, Esther, I will talk to you later. Okay. No. No. Here we go.
She's having technical
issues.
There we go.
Power off. Okay. That should be the last one for a little while.
Right,
okay.
Because that was just the sound of it powering off.
Now, in my Cloverbird pink and purple teacups bag, isn't it pretty? Very Eastery.
It's actually teapots and teacups.
Yes, it is. Tea time.
Yeah, tea time bag.
This is my comfy cozy shawl from the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Zattel. And
it's like high tea. You could almost call it like high tea. Because it's got like the fancy china.
All teas are high teas.
It makes me think of, those tea places where they have the hats.
The one we were supposed to go to, we never went.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I really wanted to go there. We just never got around to it because you got sick.
Yeah.
I want to take Mrs. Helm there, but I can't risk leaving you here that long by yourself.
No, that'd be fine.
No. Okay.
What would you do differently?
See? This is growing exponentially. I did some work on it. I'm still on this, I don't know what you call this color, this really pretty kind of blue-green.
Kind of like an aqua?
It's darker than an aqua.
That's not a turquoise.
No, it's not a turquoise.
It makes me think of like a deep,
it's
oceanic kind of...
It's almost a spruce, which is a green, like a blue spruce.
Yeah, what it makes me think of is honestly like the depths of an ocean, like Capri or something.
I don't know if you guys can see the color there. It's not really sure. I can't tell on this screen. It's not doing its justice. Maybe it's...
I think it is on the other screen.
It's really pretty.
I think there is a color called Capri.
There is, but I think it's blue, really blue. Like a bright blue, almost like a not quite a zing, like a darker zing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a either a Knit Picks or maybe that Heartland Heritage?
What, Capri?
Yeah.
I just thought it was a color.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you mean an actual color? I don't think so, but I could be mistaken. And this,
I think I've seen it in Scrubs.
Oh, that could be. But this, I had hoped several times to have this finished, but it's been our weeks. We are very appointment heavy right now, between my appointments and Talia's appointments and Davina's, and now my husband's got an appointment. Nothing to be worried about. Just
Yeah, Davina and Dad are like one here, and they have one for every thousandth of mine.
I don't want to go into too much detail with my husband because he's a very private person, except to say that he thinks he might have a rotator cuff issue, which means that we're looking into that. Hopefully that won't require surgery, but we'll see. And that's all I have to say about this.
Oh, okay, so let me go ahead.
This is all Miss Babs, for the most part, except for Malabrigo.
Which one's Malabrigo?
I think this one's Malabrigo.
It kind of looks like it might be. But it doesn't look... I thought most of the Malabrigo you had was one ply, and that doesn't look one ply.
I don't think it's all...
Oh, I thought the ones you had were all one ply.
They might have been. I thought they were...
Because, like, the snake you made me was single ply.
Right. That, I got on a D-stash.
Okay.
I bought, on a Ravelry D-stash. I did go, years ago. I did have to replace... It was very hard to find. I think I actually found it. Somebody was D-stashing it. Another person was D-stashing it, and I found it.
I never ended up using any of those D-stash.
What do you mean?
I never did one of the D-stash things. I never bought...
I did a couple. I was blessed that I've had people have hard times with it where they didn't get what they, they didn't, give what they said they were going to give. Thankfully, I was blessed and I didn't have any issue with that.
I'm just pulling up my show notes.
The only time I had an issue, and all the times I did things, one time I did I think it was a pattern swap or something. I forget what it was. And the person never did their part of it. I don't know if it was a pattern or what it was. I don't think it was a solid thing, but...
Right, at least if it's a pattern, you're like, okay, darn, that stinks, but it's a pattern, not like the other. Okay, so, first one for me is Canary Song. So that is in my Silvershed USA. I think we said this is large.
I think so. And Paula, I think it was you who asked about this bag. I left a message with a link on the last podcast to Silvershed USA. And you can talk to Anne about another bag like this if you're interested.
Yeah, because Mom doesn't actually carry them in her shop normally.
No, I don't make them. Anne makes them.
So, but this is the Silvershed USA PHM Faces bag. Well, I'm sorry, not PHM Faces. That's another bag. This is the 10-year anniversary bag. The pattern name is Comfort Yourself with Your Music. It's from Little Women Knits by Joanna Johnson. I'm using the colorway Butternut Squash.
Squash Blossom.
Why do I always say Butternut Squash? Squash Blossom.
So good. So good.
So, quite a bit of work was done on this.
Like the thief, he gets better when he's calmed down and cooler.
Let me go ahead and...
Do you get to the sleeves?
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, SleeveSingular. I was hoping to be able to... Although, no, not with the DPN, I can't. I was going to try to put my hand in there.
Oh, no. That might not be a good idea.
Initially, I was magic looping it, but I wasn't... A 6 wasn't easily available to magic loop with, so I lazily just used my DPNs.
I had to laugh. I was reading something on one of the... I think it was Knitter's Paradise newsletter, maybe. Or maybe some group that was on. And they were saying that they learned when they were little, and they learned on DPNs and all this, that, and the other thing. And she said... When circulars came out, it was a boon because now she didn't have to do the corks on the end of the needles. And I thought, oh, corks, that's old school.
I bet that worked pretty well, though.
It does, yeah, because it sticks onto whatever needle. You don't have to worry about what size needle. You just stick it in the cork.
So, yeah, sleeve. It's not a very long sleeve. It's about an 8-inch sleeve. But it's not supposed to be... It's more of a shawl sweater than anything else.
So it's a short sleeve?
Well, it's not a short sleeve. This is 4 inches here, and then it's going to be another 4 inches there.
Oh, it's all going to be ribbing. From the sleeve.
Well,
except for that.
Yeah, this is going to be 4 inches as well.
Right.
So it's half ribbing, half.
Come down to your elbow?
Well, remember, it's not going to actually be up high because it's more of a shawl.
Right.
And I can't really show where it'll land.
That's all right.
I can do it on this side. Without putting my arm in the other. So...
Right here, it's a drop shoulder. Right here.
Yeah, so, you wouldn't want it too high up. So that means your sleeve ends up around here, so you can see why having a shorter sleeve would work just fine.
Right.
Because this is more of a shawl sweater, and that's what she calls it when I talk to her about it.
That's what she calls it in the pattern.
I don't think she actually calls it that in the pattern. I'm not sure if she actually calls it anything in the pattern. But now I'm a little chilly. Let me put my shawl on. But yeah, so this got quite a bit of... I was very close to finishing.
Now you can see the difference between the two.
But...
That's the same shawl as this.
Yeah. So yeah, this one was very close to being done when I showed it or being done to the point of sleeves when I showed it last time.
There's a lot of progress on the sleeve.
Oh yeah, because it's... Sleeves don't take a terribly long time unless you're doing a full-on sleeve. Like this is a short long sleeve, so it's not a big deal. And it's not like there's shaping or anything like that. You're just going. It's a good mindless project. Where's my sock? Oh, the sock must still be in my lap. There's my sock. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I'd like to have this done. I think I'll still have some yarn left over in this ball, which will be great. But yeah, so this has been a really fun thing to work. Now, I know the two sweaters, this one and the other one, they lay differently than sweaters I usually wear. So they take a little bit of getting used to. I have a feeling this will take a little getting used to, just like the other one I knit.
Except if it falls like a shawl, you might not have any problem.
Right, and it's just because I haven't worn this kind of sweater shawl before. I mean, we had those crochet ones we made, which were kind of awful.
They're not awful. They were just early attempts.
Yeah.
I mean, people liked it enough that we had commissions on them.
Yeah. Which, in retrospect, really surprises me.
That fun fur was awful to work with.
It was awful.
It was just horrible. I do not like that.
And we were still at the point where we really hadn't learned to replace yarns yet. Although...
yeah, I think if I had to do it again, I would not do it. I'd just use the elastic yarn and not have the fun fur. I think it's not necessary.
And there's a website out there now that has, like, if yarns discontinue, it just has replacement yarns. If you do this, if you have this yarn, this is what can be used instead of this yarn.
Right.
It's a really good website. I don't remember the name of it.
I know you gave it to me at one time. I don't know where I put it.
Because I used it to try to find a yarn for Davina's fuzzy hat. Her, gosh, that was
a nightmare.
Yeah, that was, I called it her Bianca hat, I think. Not Bianca,
Miss Bianca, yeah.
Okay, it was Bianca, yeah. Her Bianca hat. So, I'm done.
Okay, let me just make sure this doesn't disappear. I should find a different color, like the yellow one for this, because the color makes it difficult to see against the yarn. Of the stitch marker.
Wait, where is the DP?
Okay.
Oh, there's my DP. I think this one belongs to this one, and this one belongs to this one.
I do not know. Do not know.
I have two separate DPN holders. Only one actually was holding DPNs. So.
Okay. Let's see. I put this back because I'm not going to work on this right now. Oh, you can see better the color. It looks like, to me, it reminds me of a blue spruce.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. I like it.
It still makes me think of the depths of an ocean.
That too.
Atlantis.
Oceanic. Okay. The next one is in my Knit for Brains Owl Teapots bag given to me by Laura Concert. Whoops. Is a bunny.
Drink a tea.
Oops, there's another bunny.
How many bunnies is Oops?
2. I dropped 2 things. Take your sip.
I did already.
You only did 1. If you're going to play the game, play it right. Valeria, if you're watching, we're doing the Oops the Bunny game. Okay, this this is where it's at. I didn't do a whole lot of work on this. I don't think I worked on this except for the podcast last week. So it really hasn't grown that much. Still the slate blue colorway, Miss Babs. And I still think I'm going to have to break into the new yarn to get the hood done. But I am on the, not decreases, but decreasing the number of rows. I'm currently in knitting, just knitting rows. And yeah.
Well, most of your rows are just knitting rows because you don't have long sections of pearls. You only have short sections of pearls.
Yeah,
like a line of pearls.
Yeah, for this one,
it's the one I do where you have long sections where I can accordion.
Right. And I may do that one sometime.
I think it's fun.
It looks pretty. I would just have to be very careful. What is falling on me? Hello, Felicia.
I figured it was going to be Felicia because it's always
And
Felicia. Okay, we totally don't have room for both of them.
Well, he wants to know why.
Because, I mean, Felicia, you can't help, but because it's Felicia. Oh, National Turtle Day.
Oh, that's right, Laura. It's National Turtle Day. For those of you who don't know, Laura is a huge turtle person.
So, I guess Felicia knew. Although Felicia always photo bombs us, video bombs us.
Well, she bombs us with herself.
Yes.
Yes. So, and
She turtle bombs us.
she's very bright and cheery and happy. And if she doesn't think she's getting enough attention, she will say, "Look at me! Look at me!"
You just strangled
I
her.
did not, in fact. Poor Felicia. Oh, I think I stuck her a little bit. There we go.
Oh, poor Felicia. On her National Turtle Day, too.
She's so cute. I love her. She's adorable.
Did you give them a good view of that project?
This one?
Yeah.
I think so.
I know you talked about it, but you don't always remember to show it.
So,
Yeah.
there we go. And I really don't have a lot to say about this because it's just one yarn and it's just not
Did
too
you
far.
say the colorway?
Yes, Blue Slate, Miss Babs.
Okay. So,
If anyone went to the Maryland Sheep and Wool a couple weeks ago, we'd love to hear what you got, what you thought.
Yeah.
If you had a good time.
if you didn't have a good time.
I heard it was kind of a mess. Kind of
Did you?
Not the thing itself, but that it was raining and nasty.
Oh,
and, yeah.
okay.
We went one year where it was like that. I remember it was really.
Was it the second year, the first year?
I think it was the second year I went that it was.
Okay, it would have been the first year I went.
It was just. I remember because they were trying to keep things up. You don't want to drop yarn in the mud and all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. And yeah, it was interesting.
Okay, so of course the project that I'm going to show next, for some reason I threw away from me. I think I was like, oh, I'm done working on this right now. I couldn't possibly want it later.
Poor planning.
It was poor planning. I was focused on my sleeve. Okay.
I don't think the sleeve is willing to take that hit.
No, it really isn't. I think I really want to see what this looks on.
Yeah, it'll be.
And I
pretty.
think that's why I'm kind of like hyper focused on my sleeve. There we go.
I just want to finish something.
So in my Silvershed USA Brittany ornaments bag, Brittany gave this to me for my ornament designs, of course. Then I stopped designing ornaments for a while.
But you had ornaments.
I
in
did
there.
have ornaments
Yeah.
in here. It does have Christmassy in here though, which is the project name for the pattern Finish Line, which is by Laura Smoot. And apparently someone was saying in the YouTube comments, I believe, that she no longer is selling anything, at least not a line.
And I thought that was the case, but I wasn't sure, so I welcomed the verification.
Unfortunately, this was paid for, so it's not like I can really. I can't share it, even if she doesn't have it available.
No,
I would just feel weird about that.
it wouldn't be right.
So, true to form, I didn't bring my sock blocker with me. Here is the first sock. This is Dragonfly Fibers. It does not have nylon in it, but it kind of feels like it's a strong enough yarn that it might be able to handle it.
Tight ply?
Hmm?
It's a tight ply?
It feels like a tight ply. I mean, it's got that kind of rough feel to it.
Kind of a workhorse yarn.
So this is Stole Christmas is the colorway.
That's very pretty.
Yes, it is. So here's sock number 1. And then sock number 2, I am quite close to being able to start the heel flap for this.
Very pretty. That's going to be fun to wear.
Yes, it will. So yeah, this will be the first one of her patterns that I've knit, even though she had gifted me quite a few of them.
Yeah, she was very generous with patterns and things. She gifted me several shawls and things.
So
I need to go back and I had to scrap one of hers. And it wasn't hard.
you just weren't in the focusing place.
Yeah, and I think that I messed up somewhere. So and me messing up. If I try to fix it, I end up having to rip it back. So
yeah, I think I chose this one because it was one of her least. She has quite a few complex ones, and I just wanted something simple.
she's very talented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Particularly with this yarn, it's not going to take a whole lot of complex.
It would get lost. Either the color would get lost or the pattern would get lost,
Yes.
or both would kind of
Suffer.
That'd be pretty in a Sorabelle. Nice Christmas stole.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is fingering, so you wouldn't do cerebral for this. But if you had it a different weight, totally.
Well, you could. I mean,
It would be
maybe a Christmas blanket. A
it'd
little
be very lightweight.
Christmas baby blanket.
Oh, that'd be super. Unless you went and did the proper needle size, because that would be super lightweight otherwise.
Well, yeah, you'd have to do the proper hook size. I mean, within range. Let me borrow your pen so I can mark off the row I did. It's right there.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm not currently using a pen. There we go.
Thank you. There you go. Okay, let me put this away. It's nice not to feel rushed. Changing this podcast to the weekday was a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we used to be on the weekday. We used to be Tuesday? No.
Oh, we switched days so many times with your work schedule that, you know.
Yeah, because it could have been Tuesday because it's CCD. I feel like we were Tuesday at some point.
Probably before or just after. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next one is in my B-Wings country bag. This is B-Wings' bag. I mean, I don't think she made it, but she gave it to me. Isn't that awesome? I love it. And in here is my Country Rose blanket from the Jelly Roll blanket pattern by K.F. Jones. Didn't do a whole lot on this either. I meant to, but I had like dental visits and things like that, but they took me faster than I thought they would, so I didn't get to do much. And I also was working on a couple other things. I don't know, I got tangled up in my handle here.
That happens a lot for me, like in my magic looped part of my cable.
Right.
Somehow my yarn will get twisted around there, and I just have to deal until I get to the end of that.
Yeah. There we go.
Half of the project, and then I'm able to detangle.
Now this color is very similar to the other one, but it's more green. That other color we were trying to figure out. And I haven't done a whole lot on this. And this is just various yarns. I've got my yarn in here. I've got Miss Babs in here. I've got things I don't know what it is in here. But these three are mine. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure what this one is. It looks like it might be maybe a Malabrigo. Or no, it doesn't feel like a Malabrigo. I'm not sure what this is. But it's pretty, whatever it is. You might have given it to me.
I could have.
Because if I we'll finish a DK weight sock.
That wasn't in a sock, though.
No. You finish a DK weight project and you'll give me, you know.
Well, that's only happened recently with me doing the socks.
Yeah.
Because I also gave you the your Flame On.
Yeah, I haven't started with that yet, though.
Yeah.
I have to see if that's what Davina decides to pick. Because Davina likes, when we do scrappy projects, Davina likes to pick the next color. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it makes her feel like she's being part of it or what, but she really enjoys it.
She likes things with color in general.
She does. She'll be like, that's too dull. And she'll pick out something else. So, yeah.
Which means that toward the end you might have a bunch of dull colors because...
or I might unobtrusively start something in a different color and then have her pick the next one.
Right, so that way it can be kind of spaced a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she has...
otherwise you can have a very obvious patch of... like duller colors toward the end and wonder why one side of the blanket looks so different than the other side.
Well, it's just, what is it, avant-garde art, you know? But yeah, this is just DK weight yarn. I might have a worsted weight in here, here or there, but, just basically DK and worsted in here. And whatever it is I happen to have handy, that's, small amounts or minis or whatever that are DK weight, go in here.
Very good.
Be your turn.
Okay, so let me pull up my notes again. I think I know which one it is. Yeah. So in my little skein in the big wool velveteen rabbit bag is my Project Rainbow socks. The pattern, I'm looking at my show notes off to the side there. The pattern is Vanilla Cream by K.F. Jones of Bakery Bears fame. There, I finished my last stitch here, which is what I was aiming for. Okay. And this is another one I'm trying to work on whenever I have a chance because, okay, first of all, I think I made the mistake of
well, that's pretty.
Yeah, I don't know who did this. I want to say it's a Wild Hair.
It might be.
It kind of looks like her colors. But,
I don't usually put this color in.
Yeah. I don't know why I think it's a Wild Hair. But, I made a mistake of going center pull with this. So, when I think I had to cut for the heel. But when I change colors for the heel, I think the way she has it set up, I had to cut for the heel. So if that's the case, then I will not go center pull anymore. So, first sock has been done for a while. done except the weaving in. I really should weave in these ends.
So pretty.
So you got the purple heel, green toe, and it'll flip on the other side to be a green heel and a purple toe. And it's growing. We're not quite there yet.
It's pretty.
Oh, actually, we're a lot closer than I thought we were.
About 10 rows?
I'd have to count. Although, it's hard to tell because these aren't complete all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
I'm just counting by the rows.
yeah. That's right, you didn't say stripes, you did say rows.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to take a look and see, but that's about an inch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be able to start the heel flap, which is exciting because I really wanted to put the green in and see how it looked. Because with the purple in, this really emphasizes the purple in this sock. So I'm really interested when I do the green.
If it emphasizes green.
If it emphasizes green. Although I really do think there actually might be more purple in this sock.
Could be. Looks like there's more purple-ish, like purple, pink,
yeah, and then
lavender.
there's the blue, the purple going into blue. So I think it makes it appear like there's more purple where there's not as much in the way of greeny colors. But we'll see what happens if I put the green heel, if it'll do the same, give the same kind of effect.
It might.
Because I do feel like it does, if you can imagine, it looks lighter down here than does higher up. I don't know. We'll see how that happens. But yeah, a little farther along than I thought. And then once I get past the heel, it's...
You need to make socks out of this.
Well, if you put that in a yarn I can make socks out of, I'll totally do that.
I think I have it in a yarn you can make socks.
That was a DK.
No, I think I have it in my thing up there.
Oh, well, yeah, if you have it in something I can make socks out of, I will totally make
I thought you made socks out of DK.
No, sport.
Oh, sport, okay.
If you had one with nylon, I would, but no, you do not.
Okay.
So, because you do not, I do not.
A lot of my autism wearing this colorways would make good socks for you.
They would. That would be very fun. I would probably do it in this particular... Well, if I was doing it in this weight, in fingering weight, it would be this sock. Mm-hmm. I have other socks. Well, not the ones I'm wearing. I was going to show the sock I was wearing. I realized I was actually...
Lots of boring boot socks.
Yeah, the not so boring boot socks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now I have the whole not so boring collection. So if I get bored with this, I can go with one of the not so boring.
You can do the dance all night socks too.
That's worsted weight.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That was actually made for Knit Picks, the original Terra's shell. Forget the name of this yarn.
That's not Knit Picks.
Yeah, it is. This is Knit Picks.
Chroma?
Yeah, Chroma. Chroma, worsted weight, Knit Picks. It is a wool, and that was what was used in the design for the socks. And eventually I do want to make the socks in the kind of yarn it was designed for, because I never have.
Okay, my next one is in my, let's see, Silvershed USA PA10 10-year Podiversary bag, and I think this is my large one, not my extra large one. I think this is, well, no, I think that's the large one, so this must be the extra large. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, because that one looks smaller.
I don't know if it's crunched up in there or what. This is my...
well, you said it's in your smaller bag area, right?
Yeah, it is, but I'm not sure if it was just a place I could fit it with all that stuff right now.
Right.
This is my Spring Flowers baby blanket. And the yarn was given to me by Kara. Thank you, Kara. It's ice yarn. And this is a lighter weight than what Crystal gave me. I think this is a sport weight. It's a baby weight.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And this is a very nice, airy kind of blanket. It's perfect for like spring and summer babies. Let me see if I can show you this here. This is what it looks like in the skein. I don't know if you can see the pops. I'm going to have to experiment with, see if I can do something like this. Yeah, and this is a Surabel that I'm, instead of making a scarf out of it, I'm making a baby blanket, which I've done multiple times.
Many times.
And this is not a surprise to anybody who's watched us for any amount of time that I generally have at least one, normally several Surabels.
And that's been a pattern for many years. Many, wow, that makes it sound like we've been, forever.
But it's true.
What would you consider many years, though? Is many years 5 years? Is many years 6 years? I mean, when do you cross over into many?
From several to many?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I think several's actually fewer. So I think
several is fewer.
Several I think is like, maybe 3 or 4 years, 5 years maybe. But I've been doing this forever. I mean, I have from retreats pictures of me doing this like 10 years ago, or
Because I always, what's your cutoff line between that several and many?
I think it's soft. I don't think that there's.
It's a soft magic system.
Yeah, it's a soft magic. It's kind of a guideline. More like guidelines, not rules. But yeah, and this is really pretty. It does remind me of like flowers in a garden. You got the green, and then you've got the pops of white and blue and pink.
It's a relaxing.
It is, and it's kind of a sweet pattern, and it's not what Talia calls the ugly color.
No, it looks like a mint. Mm-hmm. A really like a gentle mint.
It's a baby green.
Yeah.
It's just really, really. I like it. Well, you can really see the.
It makes me think almost like mint ice cream. The shade of the green.
Yeah, it makes me think of sherbet, like lime sherbet or something like that.
Lime tends to be a little bit more of an intense green,
but not the sherbet.
Okay, I have to admit I've never searched out lime sherbet.
But it's really pretty, and it's soft to work with. I think it'd be nice against the baby's skin, and little fingers won't get too caught in here because the holes are fairly good size. So yeah, I'm thinking that this will make a nice little baby gift for somebody, and especially for the summer months when you kind of want the delicate skin covered up, but you don't want them overheating.
Right.
So I know it was hard when you girls were born because the only knitted blankets or crocheted blankets I had was from your grandma, and they were very thick.
Right.
So I didn't use those in the summer as much because it was so hot in Texas,
Right.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, just let me go ahead and put this last stitch in. Okay. So next for me, let me.
I think Davina might be done with the bathroom.
I'm sure she is. In my Silvershed USA 10-year anniversary bag, this is my medium bag. We were just talking about this pattern. It's Not Just Boring Boot Socks by Corinne Walcher. And I call the project Rice Krispies socks because the yarn is Undead Yarn Sport. It's her 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I'm not sure she still carries this base. And the colorway is Snap, Crackle, and Oh Crap Pop.
Yeah.
Don't know why she has the Oh Crap in there.
Because she's Heidi. It has something to do with one of those horror references that she likes.
Probably. So, not very far along. It's a fun colorway. I don't have anything quite this color.
Yeah. Was that... That's an actual color. It's not a putz.
It's not. No, this is an actual color.
Not a roadkill.
Yeah, no, this is not a roadkill. This is an actual colorway.
It's very pretty.
So it's. I think I don't quite have anything with this mixture of green, yellow. Not green. I don't know why I said green. Pink, yellow, and gray.
Gray, yeah. A little bit of white, almost.
Yeah, I feel like the white is almost more of a transition between the yellow and the gray.
Yeah.
So it's a different combination that I'm used to. It's fun. Of course, I mean, this is a. If I focus on this, I can knock out this pattern pretty quickly. For a while there, I was finishing one of these every week. Just because I needed socks. I still need socks, but it's not the same desperate need that I had for a while. So I'm able to focus on some other projects as well as socks. Like I'm still putting a lot of focus into the ones where I'm on the second sock. And a couple of these will not be replaced by a different pattern. I will continue with ones I already have on the needles. Like, I won't cast on another one to replace the Christmas sock. I will for the rainbow one, because I like to have one of those on the needles at all times, and I have one of Laura's yarn set aside for that.
So one of the ones she gave you?
Mm-hmm. I haven't bought any of Laura's.
Because I have a yarn set that she gave me that I think I want you to make socks out of.
Okay.
Because it's beautiful, and I want to make sure.
What weight is it?
It looks like it might be DK. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it
yeah, it is DK.
Well, to check to make sure it's nylon.
Yeah.
And if it does, then I can go ahead and I know you like the Not Just Boring boot socks. And yeah, I could also just make it have heels and toes. So that way, I mean, that's easy.
Because I really like that colorway she gave me. It's really pretty.
And I figure if it's something that she gave you that's really pretty, you're going to want a fairly simple pattern, which is why I gravitated toward the Not Just Boring boot socks.
Right.
You might not have enough for a Dance All Night. Plus, Dance All Night doesn't incline itself towards heels and toes.
Right.
It kind of gets lost in the floppy.
Yeah. Those I use more in the warmer weather.
What, the Not Just Boring?
No, the Dance All Night.
In the warmer weather?
Not warmer weather, colder weather.
Okay, I was like, who are you wearing those in warmer weather?
They're cooler. They're warmer socks for cooler weather is what I was thinking of.
Yes. So. And I know this is why I want to get the chroma eventually, because I don't have anything like every Not Just Boring boot socks pattern every Dance All Night sock that I've made has popped a hole, and every time I fix it, it's popped another hole because they weren't meant for socks.
Right.
So eventually I'm going to pick up 2 chromas, one for each sock. I think you have to. And I'm going to knit it actually out of the yarn that it's recommended.
Right.
And at least have one paired like that.
Right. Okay, let me just stop this one here before I lose the stitch. There. This goes pretty quickly. I did almost maybe a row and a quarter while we were talking, or about a row and a quarter tops together. Be interesting to see how much it takes to finish this blanket, whether I have enough for another one, or if it takes the whole 4. Because I know Crystals, it took all of it. Okay.
Just wanted to show really quickly wearing Mom's yarn. I can't really show the pattern
it's
without
really pretty.
Hurting myself.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because I cramp up really easily now.
Daddy found out that one of the reasons he might be cramping is A, he isn't getting enough water, or B, he's getting too much caffeine. So he's going to try to decrease the caffeine and increase the water. Yes, you don't have to get rid of all of it, just alter it.
Moderation.
Okay. My next one is my virtual hugs. My turn, right?
It is your turn.
Virtual hugs project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel, because this is another one. I tend to have multiple on my hooks. I see I'm going back to my roots a lot. I do knit, but I do.
Well, your comfort level is the crochet. I mean, if you look at it, notwithstanding the socks, I'm back to my original. I have multiple sweaters on the needles. That's the whole reason I started knitting, was to make sweaters.
And I think I'm heading back toward toys a little bit, which I really like to do. But I don't...
So people who are going back and watching the old stuff, you will see the patterns coming back around. Laura was saying that in retrospect, you can tell, even from the beginning, that I was having symptoms.
Yeah.
Just from the sweater off, sweater on, sweater off, sweater on, things like that.
Yeah.
That in retrospect, you could see things developing.
Okay, this is for Laura, because she's Laura, and she wants one. So she
gets to have one.
So she asked, and I said, okay.
You asked and you're delivering.
So here it is.
Oh, look at this section here.
Yeah.
That's a Laura section right there.
Yep. So this is... I was worried it wasn't going to hold together, but it looks like it's going to be just fine.
Oh, it magically works every single time.
It is a magic. I love this. I need to get in touch with Anastasia again. She probably doesn't remember me, but we were in contact quite a bit when I first started knitting and crocheting by patterns, and we were on Ravelry. I did several of her test patterns. And
didn't she used to do like purple walks or something for Alzheimer's?
Yes, she did purple blocks.
Blocks, okay, that's what it was.
For Alzheimer's, and I tested quite a few patterns for her crochet, and then she started going into knitting, and I dropped off a little bit.
Because you weren't really knitting at that point.
So, but this is her pattern is probably my favorite of her patterns. I've done multiple. I don't know if I'm quite as... No, I'm not quite as... many as I am with the Cerebel, because Cerebel's
Cerebel's smaller.
It's smaller, And it's also a little more versatile in that I can do a cowl or a scarf,
Right.
or a blanket or whatever, and a stole.
I know you've talked about doing like a table runner.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, this is just different yarns. It's I'm not sure what all these yarns are. I think some of them is Babs, some is Malabrigo. Just a lot of different things in here. There's something I got from this one here. Was from our original local yarn store, and it was closing, so I wanted to make sure I supported them, and I got a couple of skeins of this purple here. So, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I'm like, oh, purple. Laura likes purple. And it goes. So, yeah. So that's all I really have to say about that. I think the next color that's going to go in is going to be, it's a Dragonfly Fibers. I think it's this one.
Oh, that's pretty.
I can pull it out, and I think I'm gonna go until it finishes, and then redo the green. Where is? Because even my scraps aren't completely scrapped. I have to know what I'm doing. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, Mom has problems actually doing really scrappy things.
African Daisy. This is Traveler.
The closest I've seen you come has been the blanket that you're working on.
Yep.
Because you're actually not picking your Lane Davina pick.
Well, the thing about that is it reminds me of the old the quilts,
right?
The patchwork quilts, and they're meant to be that way.
Yeah.
So this one will probably go in next. When I maybe when I finish this row, I haven't decided yet. I might do another row, because I have this whole big skein. Just want to make sure I have enough to do the same number of rows when I get down to the bottom.
Right.
So we'll see. I might add the color at the end of this row. But this is fun. I always enjoy this pattern, and I've done now. This is, let me see, I've done 2 for you, plus the one I made for myself, plus the one I'm making for myself. That's 4, plus the one for Crystal is 5. This is 6. So
that's all.
I want to say there's another one, but I can't think of another one. 6 or 7. Well, this is a big project.
Yeah, I guess I feel like you've made more of them for some reason.
Well, it's probably because I always have one on my hook.
Maybe.
Always. And I may have made another one that I just
don't remember.
I
mean, you would know better than me. It just feels like you've done more of them.
I may have done. I just can't remember having done another one like that. But yeah, this is moving along. This grows very quickly. It's not quite as big as my other one, but I started this much later. It is big enough to be a shawl.
You just want a bigger shawl.
Laura likes big shawls. Yeah, and I don't blame her. Big shawls are awesome.
They are awesome.
And this is meant to be a virtual hug, so it has to be bigger. It has to be able to be wrapped up in.
Yes.
So,
because we don't want any, small.
No stingy hugs.
Stingy hug.
No stingy hugs. So this, yes, that's what I have to say about that.
So I have my last one to show, and actually this kind of combines with a frogged. So the frogged was the Granville cardigan by Fiona Ellis in my PHM Faces bag. I've come to realize that I'm not at the point where I want another really fitted cable sweater. I kind of am in a comfy mode. So I pulled that out and have started a replacement sweater. Same yarn. It's still shepherd's wool in the colorway something frost.
It's very pretty. It's probably blue frost or ice frost or something.
It is frosty blue. And
it's really pretty.
Yeah,
it's soft.
Shepherd's wool is soft.
And this is non-superwash.
It's non-superwash.
So
but
for me to say it's soft, ooh, you know that yarn I have that I got at that's non-superwash goes with this.
Oh, really? This is just the nicest. This is what I tend to pick up when we go to our local yarn shop. Is
she carrying that?
Yeah,
Laura?
She carries shepherd's wool and it's a really good price there. Of course,
she has great prices.
And shepherd's wool does tend to be on the inexpensive side. My only pullover I have, the red one, it's in one of these colors.
Is that the Melski one?
Yeah. Oh, and also my the Vivian is in one of these. This is blue spruce in this yarn.
It's very pretty.
So,
it doesn't look like a blue spruce. It looks like fir or evergreen.
Well, I know it's blue spruce.
Well, I kept
wanting to call it Bruce spruce.
I remember. No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's, it doesn't.
And it has blue flecks in there because I kept trying to pick them out. So yeah, that's also shepherd's wool.
We all have our quirks.
Well, I can't handle flex and yarn. I can't handle flex, and I can't handle vegetation. So for me to get that kind of yarn is a really bad idea because I'll be constantly picking out the flex. They bother me. Even if I tell myself, no, they're meant to be there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No.
So, anyway, what I replaced it with, okay, I found this lady on Lovecraft, and she has a really lovely website. You can't purchase off her website, at least when I tried it, I couldn't. But you can see all her patterns there, and she has, I think, all of her patterns on Lovecrafts. She's a really good, she gets back to you like this if you have a question. I had a question about one of her acronyms in here, and she got back to me within, gosh, it was less than an hour or two. She really got back to me quickly. Very nice.
I need to check and see if George has any crocheted sweaters.
Her name is Mari Dembro, and her sweaters are Mari Sweaters. Website is marisweaters.com, and she's in, it looks like they have her, she mentions that she's in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And
I like that hood.
I think she might be originally British, though. Well, no, these are in inches.
Doesn't mean she's not British. Just
Yeah.
means that, you know.
So,
I think Kay and Dan do inches and stuff.
I guess you're right. So this is the replacement. It is a really comfy looking hoodie. Her patterns tend to be they're a bit on the boxy end, but they just look like comfy sweaters, very British looking sweaters. They can be male or female. There's not really any shaping.
Well, to me, this is what I think of when I think about comfort sweater, and they even say fisherman.
Yes.
This is the kind of sweater I like. If you're
Well, look at the size of that hood.
Yeah.
I saw that hood. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to do that one.
I'm actually surprised this isn't a bulky, because this is something I would say, okay, I'm going out in the water, it's fall or spring, and this is what I need.
I think you could do this with a bulky, because I had to go up to US 9 to get gauge with my worsted weight yarn. So even though it calls for worsted weight, I think someone like me with my gauge could have done this in a bulky.
It's absolutely gorgeous, the cabling and stuff on it.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
beautiful.
I mean, it's not a complex cable, I don't think, but
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful. I love the hood on this. I think it's going to be like my hoodie kind of hood. I can see myself honestly making a couple of these.
Well, wait until you make it.
Well, no, it is pieced.
Which I find interesting the way, can we say it?
Yeah, because we're not giving away much about her pattern. She recommends not just seaming it, she recommends crocheting the pieces
Which
together.
I think is brilliant because it's so much stronger.
So, yeah, and that's what she says, is for more durable seams and firm edges. So, I'm really liking her design. I really look forward to this. It's going to be lovely in this blue. Yeah, I feel like something more comfy at this point in my life. The Granville is gorgeous, but I already have a really fitted cabled sweater. At this point, I don't need another one. That one was also pieced. So, I just think, yeah, this is what I prefer to do right now.
That's what you should do then.
Oh, and I actually did get started on it. Let's actually show the project. First of all, let's see, that's my other pair of needles.
Why?
Here is the gauge swatch. As you can see, I had to do each of these mark measurements. I skipped a size between here and here because I had a feeling I need to go up to 9 after I did the...
Yeah, this is much lighter than this.
Yeah. I could, like I said, I probably could have done a bulky with this and used... It would have been very tight though, probably.
Wouldn't have draped.
It wouldn't have draped. But...
This is a light sweater. I would like to have been heavier.
Maybe an Aran would work. But with my gauge, it just wasn't gonna...
I mean, it's going to be very nice.
I think it'll still be warm because it's a wool. And wool tends to be.
Well, maybe it's meant to be a layer piece. You know?
But I don't know that she intended to be quite this lightweight or if it's just my gauge.
Yeah. It's a beautiful sweater.
Let me... Where are you? Oh, there you are. And my ribbing is using a US 7 because I would have been using a 4. So it's begun. This is the back. She has the measurement for my size because this can be done either male or female. If the buttons are on one side, it's male. If the buttons are on the other side, it's female.
And then have a hood for the male.
Yeah, no, sorry. No, that's a different sweater there. That's the other one.
I wish my husband liked cardigans because I think he'd look good in that.
This one. The finished size is 42 for my size. So like it's meant to be positive ease. So,
Lots of positive ease.
Lots of positive ease.
Well, think about it. When you look at that kind of sweater, it's probably going to be cold out. You put things underneath it.
Exactly. It's just supposed to be super duper comfy. And if I decide I like the style, I might eventually take like a Knit Picks yarn, like if they have an Aran or something, try to do it in that and see if I can get a little bit of a heavier sweater, and then do a smaller needle to get the gauge. But yeah, I already had the yarn amount I needed for this, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Yay. I think I'm going to have to go and rip some things out that I'm not actually currently working on, so I can start other things and get some of my bags back into my bags are all tumbling out of my bookshelf because they have too much yarn in them to be fitting.
I don't feel too guilty about starting this one because I ripped one to start this one, so it feels like it's a gimme.
Well, I have 3 projects that are close to done, I think. There's this one. Well, this one's not quite close to being done, but and the one that's like this one, and the Cerebell, which can be, done at almost any time. I just sit down and work it. But if I just do that, and I may get more knitting and crocheting time done, as I was telling Talia that and my husband that eating something at night while we're watching a TV show during the week isn't good because we go to bed so early. Yeah. So instead of eating, I think I'm going to work on a project. Might be the simpler projects,
right?
But
your crochet probably,
or the
blanket,
jelly roll blanket. So yeah, and I might do that and get some of these things done. This one is fairly easy, and I can rip it out if I make a mistake.
Right.
So that's not a problem either. But let me see here.
That was my last.
Okay, I think I have one more. I do have one more. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should, unless you messed up somewhere.
Well, I wasn't sure I wanted to show it.
Oh. Okay.
Let's see here. Because I'm not really sure if I want to continue this one or do a different one. Let me see here.
Well, you show it, and then if you decide you want to do a different one, you'll be like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Out, yeah.
Because, I mean,
I'm not sure if I maybe want to do the hook I'm supposed to be using for this yarn. I didn't have it available, so I did a different hook. So what I'm doing is, it's in this book that I showed you last week.
Ah. I need to go back to work on my donut. That reminds me.
Yeah. The one I'm doing is this one, which is the bunny. And I haven't quite decided. It's interesting because the ears are double crochet.
Are they?
And I think the body is single crochet. The head is single crochet because you have to stuff it.
The ears don't look double crochet.
They are double crochet, and they do look double crochet.
Do they? Okay, maybe just from where I'm at, they don't look double crochet.
Sure, you can take a look at it. If you take a look at it, you can see the difference in the stitches.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. I'm not making the carrots. They don't have the pattern for the carrots. But anyway, I'm using Stylecraft. I had gotten the Stylecraft when Talia was going to do a big puppy, and it's just sitting there. So I'm using the Stylecraft. I have a blue one that's sitting in there in case I want to use that. But so this is the first ear that I'm making.
Now, did you go up a needle side, a hook side, or down a hook
up.
side?
So this
knowing your gauge, that probably is going to be something you're going to want to change.
I probably will change. I couldn't find the hook size they recommended. And the smaller ones, they were wanting to do like a C hook or something. I'm not using a C hook with this yarn. It's just not going to happen.
No. They must be using a lighter weight yarn.
I think what I'll use is a D or
an E. Yeah. No, they must have been using a lighter weight yarn.
But right now, I mean, I'll see how it works because
it might.
This doesn't have to be stuffed,
right?
So it doesn't matter. What's going to determine things is
your single crochet.
Yeah, the single crochet is going to determine whether or not.
And I mean, it's not overly stuffed kind of pattern anyway. Okay, it's more than I thought.
The head is.
I don't think the body's stuffed.
No, the body's not stuffed. You fold it over and seam it. So this, and I have to find a place that shows me how to do eyes that aren't.
Just put the eyes in.
But if you want to give it to the pregnancy center, I don't want to have the safety eyes.
Yeah, you're right.
So
even with my tool.
Yeah, so it's just, they say if it's going to be given to a younger child, you should probably have, some other kind of eye. So I have to find a video to do that. But this is only one ear. So it may change. Because I really want to do the owl, and I really want to do, let me see if I can show it to you if I can find it here. Well, you can see on the back here.
The penguin.
This little guy, the little penguin, which I think is absolutely adorable.
He is cute.
There's the monkey's really cute. I mean, there are lots of really cute things. The little doll is cute for a little girl.
I generally don't care for crochet, crochet or knit dolls.
But see, it doesn't look creepy because it's not realistic.
Okay, maybe. I just don't tend to.
See, it doesn't even have a nose and a mouth.
I mean, she's not as bad as some of them. Some of them are super duper creepy.
Yeah, but that's actually a pretty high difficult letter. I'm not sure why. Maybe because she changed colors. I don't know. I'm not sure why that's high difficult. It doesn't look high difficult.
What do they have for your star system? Because I know mine were donuts.
I don't know what that is. They look like balls of yarn, maybe? I can't see.
It almost... Yeah, maybe it's a ball of yarn. It almost looks like a teapot.
I suppose it could be. I can't... It might be a teapot. I can't quite... Unless it has, like, what do you call it? Oh, this is cute.
Just wonder what the other stars looks like.
I'm trying to see, yeah.
Okay, they are all the same.
Yeah, they are.
Just take because... Yeah, it kind of looks like a teapot.
Well, maybe it is.
I don't know why it would be a teapot.
Don't know. Maybe to have a tea party with all these. I don't know. But they have several cute little patterns in here. Some of them are not so cute. They're just kind of up. But most of them, I'd say 90% of them are really cute.
The monkey's cute.
The monkey's adorable. And it's in my Silvershed USA books bag. This is Belle's Books bags. From the Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
I've always loved this bag.
I always had to do double take because I have one too, but I think my inside is like gold or something.
And I gave you a bigger one. I think I bought it for you.
No, mine's the same size.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, you did buy it for me.
I did. And I just got I think we bought them together. I bought them together because I got the blue one and you got the gold one.
I think you're right.
Because I wanted the blue inside.
But I'm pretty sure mine is gold inside.
And this is a Silvershed USA bag as well. So
because mine has a pair of socks in it. I like the gold inside mine.
I like the blue inside mine. The gold looks really nice too. Red would look nice inside. Mm-hmm. Any color that's on the outside here.
I think I like the gold because it lightens it up a little bit.
Yeah. And see, this is the hook. It's too big of a hook. It's an F hook. Mm-hmm. And I think I would like to go down to at least an E or maybe a D.
Right.
For this particular yarn, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, if you decide it's crochet, if you decide you don't like it, it's crochet, and you know how to take care of that.
Yeah. I can, even if I start over again, it doesn't matter. So
well, you don't have the same issue with crochet.
I don't have a problem ripping back with crochet or trying to fix it or anything like that. I've been doing it for I don't know how long. I've been knitting for a long time too. I just haven't been able to get my comfort zone.
I can't remember when you started knitting. I guess you started when weren't doing it seriously.
Yeah.
You started a little bit after me.
I mean, I finished things that I've knitted. I finished knitted projects, but I just...
for a while, it was just like a rare one here and there. Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of the pendulum. When my hands cooperate, I go back to crocheting.
Well, because that's your preferred.
I like it. So yeah, that's that. I'm not going to work on this right now because I'm not sure I'm at there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so that leads us. Neither of us have a hose. I already talked about my frogged. You don't have frogged, correct?
No, I don't have any frogs.
Okay, so then that tends to lead on to, let's see, it's usually business after that, isn't it?
Okay, business.
Because you don't have any graphic novel, right?
No, not this time. I showed this to you guys 2 weeks ago, and I forgot to show it last week, partially because I hadn't reskeined it yet. We're still looking for the name for this yarn. I may not choose what you offer. The way you get in for the drawing for this skein of yarn is offering a potential name. If you have more than one name, all in one post, because you only get one chance. I may choose one, I may not. The idea to win the skein is to participate. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is what it looks like reskeined. Those of you who bought the Podiversary kit have a partial skein of this. It's a 50 gram. This is a 100, and it's fingering sock, and it is not blue.
Yeah, it's purple.
It's purple and lavender, kind of pink. I don't know how it's coming up on the screen where you guys are seeing it, but
it looks blue
purple.
in the upper screen.
Yeah, it's purple. It's purple.
It's quite purple.
And kind of and some pink and some lavender.
I actually looked over my rose tinted glasses to make sure it was purple like I was seeing, because I was like, maybe it's blue and I just am seeing it wrong because of the orangey glasses, but no.
It's purple.
It's purple.
It's purple. It reminds me kind of Madame Mim from The Sword and the Stone.
Oh, okay. I don't remember her very well.
Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm. It does remind me of Darkwing.
Okay. But this is...
but don't be taking their names from them.
No, yes. But I'm just saying so they have an idea of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have... I wonder if I can get it. Laura's bag has some of the colors in it. It's although that's got... It doesn't have all the purple, but it's kind of... Her crocheting hooving bag.
No, it's not quite.
Not quite.
That's got some pink in it, but that's about it.
Well, that matches the yarn I made for her almost.
Yes. Yes.
Almost.
But I wouldn't.
So I think what I'm going to do, I don't know how we're going to work this. We're going to open the thread, but how are we going? Are we going to do it in the YouTube? Or
I think you're going to have to, because you have a very limited audience base in PHN alone.
Okay, what I'm going to do is you can only have, if your name comes up in both YouTube and PHN, I'm only going to choose one of them.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can put down what you want, you think this should be called, okay, in either today's YouTube? Probably?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, when you see this one.
When you see this podcast, okay, any ideas you have, one post, however many names you want to put, but one post, you only get one chance. You either put it in YouTube or you put it in the episode thread in PHN, okay? And what I'll do is I will take down all the names and assign a number, and we'll do a random number generator, okay? That way it's fair, because I'm not guaranteeing that I'll pick anybody's name.
Yeah.
So I just want you guys to have the opportunity to win this. It is a 462 yard skein of yarn. It's fingering sock, and it's 75-25, I believe. So it's really, really pretty. I would love maybe a sweater in this. I don't wear
not
purple.
That weight necessarily.
No. I don't usually wear purple, but it would be a pretty sweater.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually have now a purple scrub top.
Mm-hmm. So this...
purple shirt.
So, I'm not sure how long I'm going to give you. I'm thinking to the next podcast so we don't lose it. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's enough time?
I see them regardless. I get notified whenever somebody responds.
Let's give it until... We have one more week in May, do we?
Indeed.
Today? What's today?
Today is the 23rd.
The 23rd, so the 30th is 1 week. So we're looking at the...
We're lurking.
Yes. We're looking at the first week in June, okay? Do not put your name suggestions in subsequent podcasts.
Only in this original one.
Episode 506, okay? Put your name suggestions in 506.
Else you will be ignored.
Yes. So
actually, more likely gently push you in the right direction.
Yes, we'll say put it in 506, but please try to remember, because we're flighty sometimes. Okay. Let me see what I'm gonna say.
You're flighty sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. So not the first podcast in June is the last day of the ability to put in the names. So we're talking about June. I think it's the 3rd or the 4th or something like that. Well, this Monday, you said Monday's going to be the 30th. 30 days has September, April, June.
I did?
And November. So there's 31 days in May. So, well, yeah, today is the 23rd. Monday's the 30th. The following Monday, I think, would be the 6th. So that if that sounds right, thereabouts, it's during the first week of June. That's the last podcast you can... That's the last day of the...
Of the warnings.
Of the warnings. It's the last day you can put a suggestion in to this episode. Mm-hmm. Okay, not
any other episode.
Episode 506 for skein of yarn, and it ends after podcast is up for episode 508, which is the first one in June. I have to write these down or I won't remember.
Indeed.
Okay. All right, so what do you think? Let me know. It may or may not. It may be a jumping off place. I may say, ooh, this works, Taya. Or it may be like, oh my gosh, there's two of them.
It will be similar to when we did the contest for the name of the podcast, where we took, I think, a part of someone's suggestion, Sue's, actually, and that's where we got the name of the podcast from. We did. It was just like when we did two different things similar to that. We did the, what do you think our yarn color is going to be? They didn't decide. We just...
Oh, Paulie actually won a skein of yarn because we weren't intending to give a prize, but we said, what colors do you think it is? And he nailed it right on the button. And
yes.
So we contacted the dyer and said, can we have a skein of yarn for that? And we sent it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also, like, we felt kind of proud of having him because he was our only guy at the time.
Yeah, because he was in before George.
He was in before George. He was in before Dan.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, he was kind of special. So I was like, oh, okay, Polly.
And he's always special.
Yes.
Polly.
But Sue was the one who gave us the jumping off point for the podcast name after we changed. And that episode will be coming up at some point.
Because we have very creative people. I remember,
that was episode 11, I want to say.
And I remember Vonnie coming up with Foon in the Woman Cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So it was just... Yeah.
I don't remember what episode that
It wasn't
was.
in the Woman Cave. It was just Foon.
Foon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... You'll be able to see eventually all the landmarks.
Quote, landmarks. Yes. So that takes
landmark moments.
And I'm hoping to dye some yarn in the next few days. Taya, I have to take Taya for an MRI tomorrow, which means that she's going to be sequestered most of the day. So hopefully
she can get stuff done.
I can get stuff done. Now that all depends on whether or not I'm going to do my X-ray at the same time she does her MRI, or if I do it in the morning.
I mean,
A lot of things. If you look at my calendar, it's filled with appointments. And yeah, I will try. And
I know I have 2 more to put on the calendar once I can get a hold of the people.
And I have a virtual one the first week of June, I think it is. So, it's just like, yeah. Yay for things to do.
It's honestly, doing the virtual ones are so nice because then you don't have to leave.
I just have to make sure that my husband got me a computer, I think I mentioned, for Mother's Day. And he's got it set up, so we're still making sure that everything it's a bit of a learning curve. Where's the microphone? How does it work? We finally got the camera set up and all that, so I need to make sure that...
Because you went from a laptop to desktop.
To desktop, yeah. So, make sure that all that is copacetic and, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so do you have the...
stash enhancement.
I don't have any.
I have only a... You don't have tea? I could have sworn you had tea because...
No.
Oh, maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't, because I had to pick up an order for... I needed to pick up lemongrass and rose petals, and when I did that, I got my card, because someone had given me the 4th card I needed from Mocha Nut Mott. So I have that now. And I just realized I had to check and see who gave it to me. Someone, I think, traded me a gunpowder sample. Not a portion.
Oh, wow, yeah.
A sample. Because I was sitting here like, I don't remember making this a sample. And I was like, oh, I think someone had a sample and just gave it to me.
Some people do
or
that.
traded it for me, and I didn't notice.
I know that when I traded, I forget what it was I traded. It was my Gemacha, whatever. Yeah, that. She was so excited about it, she gave me 2 of them.
I've had that happen before. And the other thing that had happened was, actually, I felt bad when it happened the first time because I traded and got Woody's reindeer, and she only got a portion. So I was like, well, let me find a card to give you. And I gave her something, and then she gave me another card. And I was just like, you missed it! You missed the point!
It's funny. I know that I got a message from somebody on Adagio, and he's like, I sent you a trade request. I need this card, please, 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 please. So, okay, I can't.
How can you? Yeah.
That's fine.
But
I liked what I got because it made me a sample.
Yeah. I mean, I like Mott's.
I do too.
I've had this in several teas. I think this is in Poirot.
Yes, it is.
And the tea's not just called Poirot. It's
The little gray cells. Something little gray cells.
Chocolate mocha for the little gray cells.
It's one of my favorites, and it really surprises me because it almost tastes like coffee, almost.
Mm-hmm. Now this here, okay, I have a certain standard. If I want a book and the Kindle book is more expensive than the physical book, and the physical book doesn't have shipping, I'm going to go with the physical book. Even though Kindle's a little bit better for space, I just can't bring myself to spend more for a Kindle book.
Right.
It just goes against the grain. It's probably good anyway because this might be nicer during the period of time. I'm thinking, okay, so this I'm not allowed to start right away.
Right.
This is called Gray Matter, and it's by Dr. David I. Levy, MD, well, Dr. With Joel Kilpatrick, and it's a neurosurgeon discovers the power of prayer, one patient at a time. When highly respected neurosurgeon Dr. David Levy decided to ask his patients whether he could pray with them prior to surgery, he had no idea what to expect. What if the surgery went poorly? Who would be to blame? What if it went well? Would God or science get the credit? And how would introducing prayer into the surgical process change his patients' and colleagues' opinion of him as a surgeon? While some patients found comfort in Levy's request, others were skeptical or even downright hostile. But in the end, everyone, even the good doctor himself, was transformed by the experience.
Dr. Henderson does that.
Now, I haven't experienced that from him, but I have heard he does that.
I did. He said, "You want to pray over you?"
Oh, okay, so maybe he did it with you, not with me.
You were laying down there. You were being prepped.
Okay, I don't remember it.
Yeah, I remember it.
I think maybe it was when I was getting the anesthesia, and that's why I don't remember.
But I was there. Where would you witness?
I have no recollection of this.
This is a Walmart special. Or no,
Goodwill. Because someone got this for $1.99. I know I paid for more than $1.99 for this book. I paid like $6.
Looks like it's gonna be good though.
Yes. So what I'm saving this for is if I do have to have neurosurgery, I want to be reading this around that time period because I think that this would be a really good read then. And it has something really quick in the front from Dr. Ben Carson.
Who's brilliant.
Yes. Neurosurgery, I have his biography I plan on reading. That's on Kindle. Neurosurgery can be extraordinarily stressful both for the patients and the physicians, but in the book Gray Matter, neurosurgeon David Levy shows us how spirituality can help diffuse some of the tension while providing readers with a very interesting educational perspective on the brain and its potential. I am delighted to have one of my colleagues stand up boldly for faith and intellect. So, yes, I'm very excited about this. When I saw, because I was just looking for books on neurology because I have a lot going on neurologically. I have the book on cardiac history, so I was looking for something on neurology, and this came up, and I was like, yes, I need this. So,
and I did get some things that are ebooks that I forgot to mention, but
oh, this is good type.
Yeah.
I'll be able to read this without too much trouble. That's good because, if you're prepping for surgery, you really don't want to. Or if you're after surgery, you really don't want it to work that hard.
And now that Talia brought up her possible surgery, I am once again looking at potentially doing the mystery skeins. Everything in my shop will go mystery, and I'm still debating about whether I probably will.
You were planning on going shipping again.
I was planning on taking the shipping off again because nobody's looking at my shop.
Yeah.
It's not coming up on the searches.
And you would just make it possibly that shipping would be on for the kits alone, so you would still get what you needed.
For what kits?
If you were to do, not kits, if you were to do stuff for the
mystery,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working the logistics of that, but I'm thinking about putting that back on. I really don't want to raise prices unless I have to. I apologize in advance if I do. But if nobody sees my shop, then it might have to close, and I don't want to close. Yeah. So I will, as soon as we know, I'm going to start hopefully dyeing yarn so we can have stuff that I can just put all mysteries. Mm-hmm. There's a set in there that's a neutral set that I may break up unless somebody decides they want it.
I mean, we kind of have a feeling that we're going that direction, but we'll see. Because, every time I think, it's going to be this,
So, before we get too much into that kind of stuff, I guess we should. Is there anything else we need to say?
I do have one other thing that I wanted to show. Okay. I almost forgot. This is the other Mari pattern. This is the first one I saw. I was like, this looks so comfortable. This one makes me think of Mr. Rogers. Right. And I plan on doing this because I have just about enough yarn. I might need to eventually pick up a little bit more. I have almost enough yarn, or just about enough yarn of this. This is going to be a fun sweater. Because I wanted one that was comfy in this color. Because this is more of a shawl sweater. It's not going to be something I necessarily wear when I'm cold. And this one is meant for a DK weight. Which means I'll probably go up 3 needle sizes still. Just with my gauge in comparison to hers. But it looks really comfy.
And we won't lose her.
Nope, you won't lose me. But it'll be one of my favorite colors in a comfy sweater. I mean, you can't really... One of my favorite yarns. And, yeah. Eventually, I will pick up a skein to be able to do my hood. But this.
Okay, so that's basically that. If you guys don't want to hear about, like, a little bit of life stuff or anything like that, the knitting, crocheting, crafting portion of this is finished. We want to thank the people before you leave. We want to thank people who commented either on YouTube or on the homepage. Oh, I forgot to say what the homepage was at the beginning. It's phnpodcast.freeforums.net, okay? And it's in the little description box below.
Yeah.
We want to thank Looney Hiker, Brittany, Margaret, and Paula, and anyone else who commented in either place that we didn't see before we started podcasting. Yes. If you wish to leave before we start what little bit of life stuff we have, we will wish you a very good week and see you next week. Keep in mind that we do have, is it the Zoom or the live stream?
It is Friday. We have the Zoom.
We have a Zoom coming up for the Patreons on Friday. So.
And it's the $5 patrons. I think we only have $5 patrons right now, but I mean, I'm not quite sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. But it's for the $5 Patreons. So
I don't think you usually know because you never log in.
I get annoyed having to use yours all the time, so I don't log in. Yep. So, yeah. So we'll see you guys later. We wish you a very blessed week full of every thing that makes you happy. And God bless.
God bless.
We'll give a minute to go, and we'll not even a minute. 30 seconds should be sufficient. Do 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 do. That's a reference. Okay.
Yeah, I think just about everyone will get that one.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it I was watching where they actually had a... Oh, I know it was. It was Free Guy, where they had Trebek. He actually did a question for his character in that for the Free Guy. They had a question on Jeopardy in the show, in the movie.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was supposed to emphasize how much his character, actually, he was a character that got animated, but regardless.
Well, he became
real.
Mm-hmm.
He became an AI actually.
Yeah. Well, he was artificial intelligence. He was AI. He couldn't come out of the computer, but he was able to think. He was a background character. You got to see it. I want to give her a plot.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm. Really fun.
Now, it does have, from what I understand, some swearing in it. I'm not sure how intense it is because Dad has the ability to edit that. So, fair warning, I don't know what the swearing level actually is.
But it's fun.
It's a really fun movie. But yeah, they had a question that they had. I'm pretty sure it was Trebek who did it. I can't think of Jeopardy without him.
No. It was Trebek if it was there. I'm pretty sure because no one would recognize it otherwise.
I mean, it has the same blue.
Yeah, but no.
It's not.
Jeopardy equals Trebek.
Exactly. He's gone now, right?
Yes,
Cancer?
I think he died.
I thought he did too.
Well, for a long time, I couldn't think of Family Feud without Richard Dawson. It's just,
I never really saw Family Feud, so I wouldn't know who Richard Dawson looked like.
Yeah. Okay, I think they're gone.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, health stuff, as we kind of mentioned, we have a bazillion appointments.
Well, you have to get your mouth guard.
I think I have to get it adjusted, although today was better. I said a prayer last night.
I know it was thunderstorming, so that probably didn't help last night.
The night before, you mean? Yeah. Because last night I woke up this morning, it was a lot better.
The night before, yeah.
It was a lot better. Brittany, I know you have one. I wanted to touch base with you and see if you have pain and kind of stiffness when you wake up. I think it's normal, but just wanted to check with you and see what you are experiencing with your night guard. You can touch base with me whenever you want to, when you have time. But it is helping, regardless of the pain and the stiffness and stuff. It is helping. I can open my mouth. My jaw still gets tired, but I'm wondering if that just needs to have more rest.
Right. Or maybe more time to get used to the mouth guard. I don't know.
But I was saying to the dentist, I can eat popcorn now. She said, just rein back a little.
Hold on there, popcorn girl.
Yeah, I want popcorn. I miss my popcorn. But anyway, because that one is one of those things that my jaw, before I got the mouth guard stuff, my jaw seemed to slide when I would eat popcorn. But
we don't think it literally slid, but
no, it's just
felt like that.
It did go forward.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it felt like I would almost hit the front. It was just very strange, and it kind of scared me a little bit. I have a X-ray appointment in regards to the how do you say it? Psoriatic.
Oh, psoriatic arthritis.
Is
he doing for your back, or is he?
I think the hip area, the lower back,
okay,
and that kind of stuff. So, I have that coming up.
So basically, you're getting an X-ray of the same area I'm getting an MRI for a different reason.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting lumbar, which is lower back.
Right. So it's the same area, and then we can kind of move on from there. I have an appointment with him virtually to discuss, what he thinks of that. I wish I could get an X-ray of my jaw just to make sure there's nothing bone related.
Doesn't the dentist do that for you?
They do it when they do the teeth, but I don't know if they actually look at the jaw.
You do see when you see the pictures that they do the jaw.
Which makes me think that, because when she saw it, Dr. Daisy said that I only had a little bit of TMJ, which makes me think that this is not just TMJ. This is something else. So
when did she last say that, though?
It was last time, not this time I was in, last time she took.
Okay, because I know in the past she said you only had a little.
Yeah, it was only like either the last one or the one before. It wasn't very long ago.
Well, maybe it's related to the psoriatic arthritis.
I think it might be a little bit with the arthritis and stuff like that.
Which is why I'm wondering, if you were to be started on the anti-inflammatory medicine, if you would find some of the symptoms coming down.
I don't know. I mean, I'm already on anti-inflammatory.
But it might not be enough for your needs.
Yeah. But, so he says that he thinks there might be some aspects of fibro, but that's not my diagnosis. At least at this point, that's not my diagnosis.
Yeah. So she has that X-ray coming up, and then another appointment with the dentist. I have an MRI to begin the process of checking for the tethered cord syndrome. We're kind of in an odd place where, okay, my symptoms, they come and they go, but when they do come, I can have quite a bit of trouble walking. And it's kind of at this weird spot where you're like, okay, you don't really want neurosurgery, but if it's not that, what the heck is going on? Because some of the symptoms have definitely been getting worse.
I don't let her go downstairs if I'm not with her, or Mike's not with her. Davina a lot of times will run down for her. She gets quite annoyed.
Now, like last week, I had a fairly good week walking, even though I had a really bad week for migraines. So, last week I didn't have nearly as much trouble with stairs as I usually do.
Yeah, stairs are a real problem. Davina knows that she's not to go down up or downstairs when we're not home.
Yeah.
So,
because I have trouble getting up again. Not that I fall or anything. It's just that I have trouble getting up again.
You could.
Well, what would happen is if I thought I was going to fall, I'd crawl up.
We should probably
like a doggy.
Just sit for a little bit.
Well, I'd sit and then dog up.
Well, yeah, you could sit and go boom.
Well, that would be it'd be a lot easier to be a dog. Although I have done something like that before.
But, so you have yours and I have mine.
And I have my appointment in Baltimore. It has something to do with nerves and stuff that I'm checking there. And once I do that, then I can check with the neurosurgeon and we'll review all information and see if this is actually something that's going to require surgery. If not, I don't know what we're going to do about it. Because
work the problem.
Yeah. Or it becomes a new part of my life and I have to deal with it.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then my husband, as I said, has to have hopefully, he has an appointment, which will probably lead to an X-ray. So, because he said he's going to go to the doctors until they give him an X-ray, because he wants one, because, let's face it, rotator cuff isn't something to play around with.
No, it isn't. Usually, I think they will give you the month of that.
I don't think he'll have any trouble with that. He's going to someone who specializes in shoulders. So
Yeah.
So that's basically the health update. We already talked.
Hey, Davina's actually doing pretty well on that.
Davina's the healthiest one.
You know what? She has enough going on.
Yep.
She doesn't need the rest.
She doesn't need more.
I don't think she'd mind like a little bit because then she'd get attention. But
she also likes being the one that does all the...
Yes, because initially she had, and this goes into her autism a little bit, she had a little bit of jealousy at the beginning because she was used to being the center. And when my stuff started taking that, it really kind of was, it felt displacing, I guess. And she really did, she started off by trying to minimize mine. So that way she still kind of felt the center.
But also it scared her.
Yes. So I think it was a mixture of it scared her and she didn't know where her place was anymore. And then once she adjusted, she rather liked
getting to be the big sister.
Because she didn't really have any reason to do anything for me before because I was very self-sufficient. So she now kind of likes the status quo. Yeah, not in a mean way.
No, but she's very proprietary. Like we said multiple times, for those of you who knew probably don't know it, but she is very proprietary. Talia's laundry is hers. It's her territory. And I'm not allowed to do it. If I go down and put something in the dryer so I can do the laundry, I get in trouble. And if I don't feel quite up to par, like when I have my dizzy spells and stuff.
I do think that she would have liked doing something in the caring profession if she had not had the developmental delays and had been able to emotionally and maturity-wise handle that kind of thing. Because she does like to care, and I do think that is just a part of her personality.
Yeah, she does. She's a very giving person. Her disabilities make it kind of strange, but she's very caring person. She likes to do. If any of us are, I think I'm the best one for her to deal with things like that because both Daddy and Talia get annoyed.
Well, yeah, both of us when we don't feel well, we kind of want to be left alone.
Daddy puts up with me for doing it because if he doesn't, he gets in trouble. But and for you, I just don't listen to you because I have to check and make sure she's all right. Then I'll leave her alone.
And it's my natural way of coping with it, but some of it's been increased because of sensory issues.
Yeah. And for me, I'm usually pretty easygoing about it.
Oh, you're probably the best one for Davina because you'll let her fuss over you a little bit. Yeah. Which she rather enjoys.
Yeah, but then if it gets to be too much, I'll tell her, okay, I just need to sleep or whatever. Just let me do. But anyway.
After she puts like 10 blankets on you.
I leave them all on, even sweltering, but I kind of peel back a little bit. But
as soon as you're sure she's disappeared.
Yeah. Let me get you something to drink. Let me get something. Yeah. Okay, fine. That's good. All right, so that's basically it. Leave it a little bit on a happy note instead of all this. Reminder
this
again.
Is happy. It's happy and bright and.
Reminder again to those who are Patreons. We have a Zoom on Friday, and for the rest of you, we will see you, quotes, Monday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast more than the last one.
Yes.
Okay?
Sorry about I did literally get a migraine after the last one.
Yeah.
I was working out the entire time.
I have no clue what was wrong with me last time. I think I needed sleep.
Well, there was weather coming in.
Yeah. Like I said, I must have needed sleep because I'll take a nap and I'll still sleep. And
I'm going to crash after this.
Yeah. So we will wish you all.
It's inevitable.
We will wish you all a very blessed, happy week full of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. We hope to see you here next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 506, and that's a wrap.
Bye. That 447 is permanently on there. We try to take it off.
Yes.
It's really 506.
Yeah, it's 506. And don't forget about the colorway.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.